Hey Derek, how you doing, bud? Hey Ari, good evening. How are you? It's really cool about this schedule that we have going on is that I don't know if you guys feel this, but we're all kind of holding each other accountable. It's not forcing the practice. It's not that you have to be here. Nobody's requiring that you're here, but I'm sure there's many things that may go through the mind, leading up to a into a class, and sure, there's going to be thoughts that lean towards, oh, I could do this later on, or I could do the recorded experience. But there's something energetically that I can feel that's, in part holding us all accountable. And it's nice to do the practice together. And it's nice to do it anytime, but I really appreciate that. So thank you. And we got about 3 minutes until we start. So if you're still getting yourself set up and comfortable, Detox, it's nice to have some props beside you. If you have a yoga block, use that. If you don't, have a blanket rolled up, have a pillow, and so that you can slide that underneath your body at different times and different poses, depending on what you may need. Oh, I know, right, Derek? It's such a trip. I mean, I can't say that I've ever been, this present with the sun going down in the evenings, and it start the practice, and then, before I know it, I'm really not connected to time in any way, and then before I know it, it's starting to get darker, and then by the time we're in our final shavasana, it is like pitch black. It's so trippy. It's such a cool thing. It feels it's very grounding, and it feels like you're definitely, losing parts of your identity and things that you associate with and who you think you are. And so there's a lot of things, I would say, unfolding within me, just like I'm sure there are within you guys. And that's how we know that this practice is so beautiful, because it doesn't matter how long you've been practicing, it doesn't matter how many times a day you practice. It offers each of us an equal opportunity, um, to really, just explore this in this union, and in this case, the layers that we can travel into with detox, and see where we find ourselves. That's the key. Where do we find ourselves? And versus trying to be like anybody else, and but at the same time also appreciating everybody else and loving everybody else. So yeah, it's pretty trippy. Hi, Ashley. Hey, it's 7:30, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and start the playlist. You should have the playlist on Spotify as well if you'd like to stream, if you prefer not to have music. I was just talking to some friends today, and um, they like not playing music, and I think that's a cool option as well. Hey, Sean. Hi, Ren. All right, here we go. Let's do another detox, everybody, or let's let the detox do us. That's a good way to look at it. You can get your volume set up if you are joining in with the music. Make sure that you can hear me soundly through the video, and so that you can rest inward. Hi, Missy. Hi, cousin. Oh, I love that. And thanks for joining us, Missy. Let's start on our backs tonight, everybody. Yeah, I offer this in detox. If you have a pillow or something that you'd like to put underneath your head, that would allow you to rest a little bit more deeply, you're welcome to do that. And we talk about tight shoulders. A lot of what we do in the flow practice in the mornings, obviously, there's a lot of strength that you're using. So it's a beautiful complement, and to come to this practice in the evening where it's not about strength at all, and physically, mentally, or how those phases sometimes in life, you're like, I don't have a choice. I have to show up in strength. Can't deal with those emotions right now, and because what I'm doing is more important than processing those emotions. Well, it's never the case when we find ourselves in a detox practice. And because strength need not apply, not even when you're sitting in a pose and sustaining yourself in stillness around the sensations. That is not strength. I'm not sure I can describe to you what it is, but I encourage you to explore what that means to you when you're sitting in a pose, and you might be feeling that pose quite a bit. And everything in your mind tells you to come out of it or change your position, but you end up staying for the duration of the meditation. I can't describe to you what that is, but I would encourage you to explore its meaning within yourself. If you had any anxiousness or any feelings or thoughts that overwhelmed you today, take a few deep breaths and feel the exhale soften and slow you down, and so that you can start to embrace and observe a natural breath in your body for the next 60 minutes. And let's go ahead and rock your head a couple times side to side. So if it's on the floor, if it's on the edge of your yoga block, or if it's on a pillow, and gently moving your chin side to side. And it's pretty wild if you do have a yoga block, and then you're rocking right underneath the occipital ridge in the back of your skull. You might be shocked at all the sensations and that arise and from that part of your body. And next time you roll your chin off to the right, let's keep it there. And so your chin is close towards your shoulder. And your shoulders can remain heavy. And then go ahead and close your eyes down. And rest your arms in any position. Feel, if you did this morning's practice, you might be feeling your thighs tonight. You might be feeling underneath the caps of your knees. And from last night, you might be feeling those points around your sacrum. And use this awareness, utilize what you're feeling in your body, and so that you can let go through the process of detox that much more. Notice the breath settling. Notice the calm stillness around you. Because of what you're doing with your body, which is little to nothing here, there's a calm stillness around you. And sometimes that might mean that we turn the volume up inside. We may become more aware of the noise of our thoughts and the chaos of our minds. And if that ever happens to you, then you're right where you're supposed to be. Because at least being here, you're developing a relationship. You're learning about trust. And we don't know why necessarily that the mind can be busy, but perhaps trust is part of the equation. Maybe something and someone along the way, they misguided us and manipulated our trust. And what if that has something to do with the busyness of our minds? I don't know. But we can certainly explore any concept, any philosophy, meandering through our natural breaths and sensations in our body as we still ourselves in this practice. And go ahead and roll your chin back to center. You notice the muscles in your neck. Some feeling some space into your chest. And keeping the weight into your shoulders. Pause at center. And take a deeper breath in. And let a full exhale come out. And then we'll shift to the other side. Let your chin fall over towards your left shoulder. And then feel where you pause and begin to soften in your body as you observe the sensations. Little sensations, big sensations. Little thoughts, big thoughts. You let yourself be on a spectrum and where you're open to anything. And feel the heaviness of your eyelids. Indulge the mind in the separation from time. This where you might be where you find a little more of your inner peace. And there start to define your sanctuary, your oasis. And feel it, everybody, as you're sitting in these poses. It's like you're turning yourself over. It's as though you've only, seen part of the journey, one perspective, but there's so many other angles and there's so many other principles and there's so many questions and that still have yet to arise. and through your experience and in your life, and with yourself and with each other. And let's take it nice and easy and roll your chin back to center. And connect to this space, and when you arrive at center, take a deeper breath. And open your mouth, exhale to release all of your air. And keep your body heavy, take your arms over your head. And without forcing it, without applying strength, extend all the way out to your fingertips. You can spread your thumbs away from your pinkies. And bend your legs in so that your feet come flat onto the mat first. And take your hands to anything that might be under your head. And lift your head to remove it. And then let's go ahead and make our way up into a seated position. You face the top of your mat. And then set up so that your right leg is straight. And your left foot is hooked into your right inner thigh. So it's like a tree leg. Standing tree pose. Left leg is flexed and through the knee. The right leg is extended. You could feel nice and to put a pillow behind the right knee. And you say especially if your hamstrings are pretty tight. You could feel good to tilt the pelvis, and by putting a blanket underneath your hips, if your right leg can go straight fairly easily, and relax your toes. And we're going to slide the hands down the legs so they can rest on the calf and the shin. They can slide further down to the ankle, but without pulling. And if you can relax and connect your hands to your foot, you're welcome to do that. But you're not pulling and using any strength in your arms. So figure it out and connect your hands to any part of your right leg. You might start in one place and then evolve a little bit deeper on the slide. And so let's start here. Soften your belly and begin to release your head heavy. And the front of your right leg may not understand what it means to relax right away. So soften the kneecap and let the quadricep go. And please know that this is the place if you need to explore a different angle, an idea. Right? I don't like seeing myself this way. This is something that I know. Then, feel this is safe space and where you can try on something new. And where you can be something else and where you can think a different way. Try it on. You got many other beautiful souls and perhaps doing the same thing at the same time. So you're supported. If you're getting some achiness in your spine and compressing into the joints of your spine, it's pretty normal. Keep softening your belly. Hopefully you're feeling it in your middle back, in the back of your right leg. About 1 more minute in this fold. And if you're going to slide your hands down your leg anymore, go ahead and do that now. And still not using the arms as strength. But feeling the connection, you basically have the energetic circle closed right now. And so you might be feeling a little bit more when the circuit is closed. And take 3 breaths right where you are. It may feel good to sigh the exhales out of your mouth. And then go nice and slow. Start to walk your hands back. And from the base of your spine, roll up. Ease your way back into the lightness. And you just never know what you're going to feel until you actually get and to draw yourself into the moment and feel it. And keep your chin close to your chest, close your eyes, a little sigh of relief. And we're going to keep your left leg as it is. And simply lean to your left a little bit. And slide your right foot back. And put the top of your foot onto the mat. And so the sole of your left foot is still on your right inner thigh. But now your right leg is tucked behind you. This obviously is going to tilt your pelvis a little bit to the left. You could always have an object behind you, like a block or a pillow. And then start to recline yourself back and come down onto your left elbow. You can let your right hand and rest down onto your belly. And try to avoid your right knee lifting. Keep the shin grounded. And then start to feel like, detox is kind of like waving a wand and somewhere over a body part. It's not as specific as what we're typically describing in flow. So somewhere around the top of your right leg, in front of your right leg, you're feeling a sensation. If you can soften this deeper without forcing it and strengthening your way through it, you can come down onto both elbows, or you can take your shoulders all the way down onto the object or down to the floor. But essentially meeting yourself where you are, and accepting the fact if you can't go all the way down onto your shoulders. It's no big deal. I say it doesn't make you any cooler and to go down to your shoulders. We're just practicing with the body that is ours. And meet yourself where you are. In anything that may be challenging, that may be coming up, you approach it with peace and patience. In your quest to be here, the idea of pushing something away and becomes less and less of an actual opportunity. And if your body's going to allow you to go any further tonight in this position, and go ahead and make that change now. And fall into it and for the last minute. And sometimes your body needs in the vibration of a sigh and to let go a little bit more, so feel free and to take those sighs as they come. Could be a lot going on through the pelvis right now, and a lot surfacing and through the emotions. Feel that charge and feel the reality of your emotions, whatever they may be. And it's so beautiful when you allow this access and this permission. A little draw to your belly if you went all the way down. And come back up into your elbows. And then start to make your way all the way back up into your bum. And go slow. There will be achiness and there will be feelings. Don't worry about what it looks like. Nobody's watching. Your right hand to your right shin so that you can bring your right leg back around in front of you. And feel the knee extend. And then we can untuck the left leg. Okay, let both legs come out in front of you. And turn your big toes out. And then go ahead and just soften yourself in a gentle forward fold counter stretch. And let all the air come out of your lungs. Your right leg might feel a little different than your left leg at this point. And consider it in how you're mimicking life. If you spend 10 minutes focusing on one thing, you're going to evolve. I mean, change is inevitable. The deeper approach is to see if you can acknowledge the change while it's happening, if you can be conscious of the change while it's going on, if you can practice and non-attachment, and so that you can let go of the fear that you may have around and change. I mean, within your being, outside of your being, and with yourself or with each other. And the question is, what are you really scared of? And it should be a beautiful thing to see. You need to see your true self. And bring your head back up. And set up the left side so your left leg goes straight. And take the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh so it's like a tree leg. You remember that left quad may not want to relax right away. If you want to tuck something under behind your left knee, you're welcome to. And take your hands below the knee onto the shin. And we're just sliding the hands down the leg. And find a place in where you meet some resistance, and then you can start to settle there. And we'll keep the hands connected tonight, but we're not drawing with the arms in strength. There's so much beauty in your patience. Mhm. Feel what you're feeling, and if you're going to slide in a little bit further, for the last minute, slide the hands down. And it's so great to be here with all of you tonight. keep the head heavy. You can even keep the eyes closed. And feel all the sensations as you crawl your hands in to the lightness of a stacked spine, one vertebra at a time. As you feel the lightness in your spine, keep your chin close to your chest. And let it out, let it go. And let yourself be who you really are. Cool. Right leg stays as it is, little lean to the right. And swing the left leg back. And tuck the top of your left foot onto the mat. And obviously this is going to tilt your pelvis a little bit to the right. And you can stay up here. You can kickstand in your upper body with your right arm. And this isn't about putting yourself and your mind into overdrive, but it's learning about, where you have a tendency to do that. Where the pace of your mind is overriding the importance of your peace, of your health, of your physical and your mental and your emotional well-being. Like that's the freedom that we have with the minds that we're gifted as human beings. And so it's not easy. And it might take seeing things from different angles, which is why it's great to connect with different people. And to do things that you never saw yourself doing before, like perhaps practicing a detox yoga class on a Saturday night. What else are we doing? Ever. Before the pandemic, after the pandemic, what are we doing? And you're welcome to bring this back down onto your right elbow. You can have anything set up underneath you. And possibilities that you end up on your shoulders. You're supported by something underneath your shoulders, but it doesn't have to go there, and it may take a little bit of patience and to see if you're going to go there. And if you're not going to go there, it's as equal in the celebration to stay right where you are. If you got something filling your heart up right now, and if you're seeing things a bit more clearly, as you detach from time, Maybe have a little bit more space in between in your responsibilities. And take note of what you're feeling in your heart. And so that from this point going forward, absolutely nothing holds you back and from following your heart in the moments that you're living your life, whatever that may be, and wherever that may take you. And consider that relationship. You know, it can be as silly as, "Hey, I think I want to dance a little bit more." And I think I want to see that part of my personality and that I know is there, but I'm a little insecure about always sharing with others. I think I want to just let that be a part of my expression always. You could be good right where you are if your body is going to allow you to come down any further. Go ahead and start to make your way down into your expression. About one more minute. In love when the sensations of your body come right up in front of you. And they confront you. And they say you may think you know what you want to be feeling right now, but this is what you're going to feel right now. And process this change. You be a part of the change. Invest yourself 100% in the change. In the body and the mind. In the context of the relationship that you have and with the spirit. Totally up to you. Feel the layers off of your chest. Take a few more deep breaths here. You can use a little draw of your belly and support your low back. And then you can start to bring yourself back up and through an elbow and through your hands all the way back up to your bum. And so many feelings in this release. Check it out. Left hand to your left shin. You unhook your left leg. And feel that flow all the way down to your toes. Let your right leg slide out. And big toes out. And you can have a little bend to your knees. Ground your seat. And then hands slide down the legs and you can just let your head rest, chin to your chest. your tongue around the inside of your lips. And stretch your jaw, open your mouth as wide as you can, and hold the mouth open for 10 seconds. And watch this energy, everybody, as slowly as you can. And begin to let your lips come back towards each other. And come back into a light line through your spine. And let's turn ourselves into a frog tonight. So come onto your knees and then turn sideways, and so that you're facing the sideline of your mat. And you can have your pillow, blanket, yoga block, okay, out in front underneath your chest, and then take your right hand and pull the end of your mat and roll it over twice. And then bring your right knee onto that extra padding of your mat, and then take your left hand and roll the front of your mat and twice in towards you. And then take your left knee, and like you're doing the splits between your knees, onto the pads of your mat. And kick your heels out, and so they're behind your knees. And your toes are pointing out, and then start on your palms. And let your inner thighs release. And tailbone lifts up, and so your hips are on the plane of your knees. If you were looking at me sideways, the hips are on the same plane as the knees, not coming forward, not falling back. Let the inner thighs get heavy. And feel your tailbone lift. Your arms are there to support you, and then you can just let your chin come towards your chest. Hopefully, you could have never anticipated or thought in a million years and that you were going to be in frog pose at this point in your life in this practice, and that would be exceptional. And great work for your mind, and great work for your life, great way to stay present in your life with your mind. Because remember, the more things that we do outside of our comfort zone, the more people and that we embrace that and we don't know, the more we learn, the more we grow, the more parts of ourselves and become a reflection and then a realization. And so we get to know ourselves better. And you're welcome to stay on your hands. You're also welcome to come down onto your forearms. And the hips never leave that plane. Stacked over your knees. Neither falling back or coming forward. Keep the inner thighs heavy. And relax your chin. If you have pillows or blankets or a yoga block, slide it underneath your chest. And then let your chest come all the way down. Feel your tailbone tilt up. And let your inner thighs be heavy. And rest here. You use a little bit of strength in your belly and supporting the space through your inner thighs, and stability for your SI joints as you lift your head and start to come back up onto your palms. And keep your gaze down. And then turn your left heel in towards center. And then turn your right heel in towards center. And let your hips slide back a little bit, and then start to walk your knees in closer towards each other. And a little bit at a time on each side. And feel the release. Let out an exhale. You can unroll your mat, okay, on the back and on the front. And turn yourself back so that you're facing the top of your mat. And let your knees be about inner hip width distance apart. And let's come back into a hips to heels, arms alongside your shins, and child's pose, curl, and so that the top of your head is resting on the mat. And this may have you feeling in more space based on what you've opened up in your body. Maybe for the most part you're not able to get into this position very often, but now you can feel it. What a great place to be in your mind when you can feel it. You're not pushing at it, it's not poking,
And back at you, there's some peace or happiness or joy or acceptance or patience. All of these positive qualities, and so that you can continue to shine your light bright. Celebrate yourself. And slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Keep the head heavy. And you're going to roll up to a light spine. Eyes closed if you want to feel it more. As you sit onto your shins, hands on your thighs, releasing the pressure in your chest, feeling your heart open, shoulders away from your ears, and chin parallel to the floor. And a big salute here with your eyes closed, as though the light of the moon was shining directly on your face, and blasting any heaviness of judgment out of the back of your brain. And you feel your ears come back and you feel your chest open up wider. And then your chest opens up wider. And your chest opens up a little bit wider. And then bring yourself back down into the ground. And you open your eyes back into your space. And if you have anything that you would like to drink, and take a sip. And then let's lie down onto our back, please. Legs straight, arms by your sides. You might be getting some tingles coming out of your toes. Enjoy that. You're awake sensationally, you're alive, and throughout every part of your body. Remind you from the beginning of our practice today when I said, you're the only one that can interpret this dance. Its meaning and translation, the debates, the ups and the downs, and the reconciliation, the trust. And trust can be a huge place, and to start within yourself, especially if you know that someone or something along the way betrayed your trust, and you would love to see a calmer relationship with your mind. Start there. Start here. And it can begin right now, and it can grow and it can grow and it can grow with a lot of patience, regular practice. Start here. You want to
encourage you all to relax in your Shavasana and for as long as it feels right. Okay, let's just call it the evening detox. I don't care what a day it is. This is amazing. And I hope that we can feel the privilege that it is and to be able to sit in these practices and to let everything be, but then to take all of the energy, right, whatever we've developed within ourselves, and share it with everybody near and far. I mean, those physically in front of us and those that we cannot see. And so before you get off your mat tonight, please take a moment to seal your practice and to share your practice and to send your practice and wherever you'd like to. And I hope to see you all tomorrow morning and for our 10 a.m. flow. And have a beautiful rest of your evening. And take care, everyone. Namaste.